Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So with the weather cooling off, it's heading into soup time as far as I'm concerned. So tonight I'm making cherry tomato soup and we're going to pair it with a grilled cheese sandwich. Um, I froze cherry tomatoes. When did I freeze them? I froze them. Oh, back in August, I froze a bunch of cherry tomatoes. And I thought we were going to use them in smoothies, but it didn't happen. And I thought, oh, you can add them into soup. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to get going on this. It takes about a half hour to make this soup simmering. So you're not standing there cooking the whole time. But it's delicious. I love tomato soup, especially with grilled cheese sandwiches. So we're going to get going on it. And I'm bringing you along with me. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to measure out our cherry tomatoes. And you want about 8 cups of these. And it looks like I will probably be using both bags. Yep, might as well. All right. Now we're going to head over. Oh, I've got my water boiling because I need to make, it actually called for vegetable broth. I thought I had vegetable broth. I do not, so I'm swapping it out for chicken broth. It's okay if you do that. Unless, of course, you're a vegetarian, then you don't want to do that. You want to stick with the vegetable broth, but we're not. So we're going to be good. All right, so let's head over to the other side of the kitchen. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure out olive oil. You need 1/4 cup of olive oil. And I've used up this one. So good thing I have another one on hand. Okay. Wow, that was kind of wonky. All right, so we're going to put it in our pan. And then we're going to add, well, I got to get a teaspoon. Okay. Sorry, guys. So we're going to heat this to medium. When it gets hot, we're going to add in our cloves of garlic. It says it needs 8, so it's going to be 8 teaspoons that we're going to be using. Now I'm going to put this in the sink. I'm going to let that heat up just a little bit more. So once we add the garlic, we're going to cook it for 2 minutes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the garlic. And I'm just using jarred. You can mince up your own garlic if you want. It is completely up to you. All right, so we're going to cook this for 2 minutes. And it is very, very fragrant. All right, so while this is cooking, I'm going to go get the broth ready. All right, so you just want to cook it till it's lightly brown. and fragrant, of which it is. So now we're going to, what are we going to do? We're going to add the cherry tomatoes. And you do not have to thaw your cherry tomatoes before you start cooking with them. Okay, and then we're going to add in salt and pepper. And we're going to cook for 15 minutes. Yeah, the cherry tomatoes are already starting to soften up. Okay, I'm just going to let this sit here and I'll bring you back. Okay, so as you can tell, the tomatoes are starting to pop. Now, I don't have an immersion blender, so I'm going to actually be putting the soup into my regular blender to blend it up. And then I'm going to put it back into this pan after it's done cooking. But yeah, so at this point you can use your spoon, the back of your spoon, and just start breaking them up. Okay, so we're going to continue on cooking it, and I'll bring you back in a few more minutes. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes, and so now what we're going to do, and as you can tell, look at all of them. They've started breaking. I've been breaking them up with my spoon as I went along. All right, so now I'm going to add in, I don't know what I'm adding in. I'm going to add in vegetable broth, or, well, I'm using chicken. So I'm going to add that in. Try to get it all out. And I don't have any fresh basil, so I'm actually just going to add in some oregano. I'm going to do a couple tablespoons of oregano. And then you can also add Italian seasoning, which I'm also going to do. Just to kind of flavor it up a little bit. All right, and then I'm going to add Parmesan cheese, a cup, and then we're just going to mix it all together. And we're going to let this cook until it comes to a simmer. And then we're going to take it over to the other side of the kitchen, put it in the blender, and blend it up. And then I'm just going to leave it sitting on the stove top, just simmering, keep them warm until my husband gets home. Oh, this smells so good. All right, so I'm just going to let this sit here until it comes to a simmer, and I'll bring you back when it does. Okay, so it came to a simmer. So now I'm just going to load up our blender with it, and then I'm just going to blend it up. And I'm going to make a super huge mess. So what's your favorite thing to have with tomato soup? Mine is grilled cheese sandwiches. Ooh, this cheese is just melting all over the place. I should probably look into getting an immersion blender for just this kind of occasion. And as you can tell, I'm just making a huge mess. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and blend this up. Now that I got cheese all over the place. Okay, so just to let you guys know what was going on that day, I had been running a fever all day long, and I didn't feel well, but I really wanted soup, and I didn't want to wait till my husband got home so that he can make it, and I didn't have any canned soup or any soup in the freezer. So I went on ahead and decided that even though I didn't feel well, I would go ahead and make the soup anyway and record it. What I didn't show you was that after I put it in the blender and I tried to get the blender to work, it didn't want to work because the soup was too hot. In my old blender, I could blend hot things and it would be fine. Also, what I didn't show you was that the blender exploded all over my kitchen. So I had a huge mess to clean up while not feeling well. Luckily, my husband came home and he did take over what was going on. And so he continued the making everything for me. I do now have an immersion blender. After that fiasco, we decided it was best if we purchased one. So we did. And I haven't used it yet. I'm looking forward to using it. But so that's just something that keep in mind, that if your blender can't hold hot food. Okay, so the soup is ready. It's just going to sit here for a few minutes until my husband gets home. Then we'll make a grilled cheese sandwich and we will enjoy it. But it smells wonderful. Can't wait to eat it. I'm just going to keep it kind of warm until we're ready. So, yep, it's looking good. And it smells delicious. I recommend you guys try this recipe. All right. So I just want to thank you for coming along with me on this journey. As you can tell, I made the recipe my own. So remember, a recipe is just a guide. Make it your own. So that's what I did tonight. I added different ingredients that that wasn't called for because I didn't have the ingredients when I thought I did. But oh well, you know, things happen. So we're going to enjoy this with a grilled cheese sandwich. And I'm looking forward to it. All right, hit that like, hit that share, and hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.